Good evening, everyone who are gathered here. On this is auspicious event, I would like to welcome you all to the 1-week international, which is short-term course on soft skills, emotional intelligence, and effective classroom management, jointly organized by JSS College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Karnataka, Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association, Malaysia, Capco Marine Trust, and Lavender Literary Club, India. Today we have two speakers, Dr. Hanisa Hassan, Dean, Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, University Malaysia, Kelantan. Second speaker, Dr. Venkateshwara, Associate Professor, Department of English, St. Joseph College of Engineering, Chennai. It's my immense pleasure to invite the moderator, Dr. Frank Jason Satya, President of Lavender Literary Club, to introduce the speaker.
Good evening. I first invite Dr. Balakrishnan Parasuraman, Professor, University of Kelantan, to give the inaugural address. Yes.
Okay. First of all, good evening to our MC for today, and also I'd like to apologize for a while because I got another online meeting. Anyway, I would like to thanks to our president, Dr. Frank, who is Lavender Literacy Club, and also Dr. Regine for Camp Comrina, Club President of Camp Club, and also Malaysian Industrial Relation and HR, who is I'm the founding president for Malaysian. So this is actually a joint venture conference together with the JSS College of Arts and Commerce and Science, autonomous under University of Mysore. Okay, all right. As I'm patron for this short international virtual workshop on short courses, so I'd like to welcome all especially the distinguished speakers from Malaysia. I think I know my friends here, Dr. Anissa. How are you, Doctor? Welcome to our international virtual workshop. Dr. Jaya.
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome to our international virtual workshop. And also all even Dr. Ganesan, Dr. Ganesan from
Yes,
IPG.
yes, Prof. How are you?
Yeah, Dr. Ganesan is our president from IPG IPO, who is one of the active. So actually, this is actually a good start. I really thanks to Dr. Frank and Dr. Regine. Both of them actually have an NGO, but mostly young academics. The good thing that they have formed this NGO by voluntarily, and with all the young academics like Dr. Jaya and Dr. Anissa, like your age, they formed this. And I know this, both of them, Dr. Ganesan, I'd like to thank Dr. Ganesan, who have been published a lot of papers in India. And Dr. Ganesan brought me here. And after that, we in fact formed the Malaysian IR, Human Resource. We are going to launch next year with the Minister of Human Resources. And this is directly lies to the ILO, International Labour Organization. And this is actually an initiative by ILO to ask me to set up this NGO. And I'm really proud to see that University of Malaysia Kelantan really going to be center of excellence for the entrepreneurship university. And I think most of my colleagues here, they all are very important person in their respective field. Like Dr. Anissa was the Dean of Faculty of Creative Arts and Technology. I think, Lavender Club with Dr. Frank and Dr. Regine, they are going to set up an indigenous heritage cultural worldwide. They're planning on that. And I told them, why not you all can work with the University of Malaysia Kelantan, UMS and others. And of course, we got Dr. Jaya, who is a scientist. But even though scientists, we also brought Dr. Jaya in our research team, especially soft skill. And I think all our friends here, participants here, I really respected all of you. Every time there's a conference organized by these three NGOs, you all come and support all the time. So I'm really glad. And not only Malaysia scholars, especially Dr. Ganesan brought a lot of IPG and also from other scholars from America. We also got friends from Indonesia. So to me, most of the things we are not connected to India. India is one of the biggest country after China. We are looking a lot of China, but we forgot in India. So India, we have a lot of opportunities, especially student exchange program. And Dr. Anissa, I think Dr. Jaya, we can have a lot of network especially on your field. Both field, I think India got very highly heritage, like Taj Mahal and many things. And Dr. Frank personally did his PhD on the field of indigenous people. He did in Norway and I think from Australia and so on. I believe this NGO, they are very young scholars, representative from the many scholars by their initiative. So why not we learn also from them? And I think this is the best way we can connect. And I hope Dr. Anissa as a dean and Dr. Jaya, maybe we can sign MOU with this connection, and we can bring more students, exchange program. I am welcome to see joint communication and also to see our scholars to work with many countries around the world. And of course, our counterpart, our friend from University of Indonesia and other friends also joining us, like Atmajaya University, and I think private universities in Cyberjaya, and of course UMK is always in our heart. UMK is one of the top #1 university entrepreneurship. I welcome all our scholars to work together, and we got Dean here, Dr. Anissa and Dr. Jaya. I think they're all a very important person, not me. I'm just an ordinary person. But I believe with this network and our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Nick Mahiran, she's very positive. And of course, our VC and so on. So I think our top management is really want to opening up a door for many countries in the world, and India is one of our pipeline to work. So this is a good start. That's why we bring a lot of scholars from Malaysia, especially with the connection. Dr. Ganesan also bring a lot of, I really thanks to Dr. Ganesan, who are a key player in the NA, and also all our friends, distinct speakers for 1 week. Imagine 1 week is the workshop. I'm also talking to some Chinese students from China. They also come to join this. So we can connect. Actually, Malaysia, India, and China and Indonesia, we are very close friends. So I hope the workshop not just stay here. We go beyond. We have become a good friends in terms of the academic. And I think 2 journals will launch by Lavender Literary Club under the leadership of Dr. Frank. One is heading by Dr. Garrison on the humanities, another one by me on the management, technology, science, and so on. So we also bring Dr. Rao last time, the top two scientists, and Dr. Rao will be our what do you call deputy general, and of course Dr. Anissa and others I think can join as in the editorial board. So we are planning to bring these 2 journals to the Scopus within 2, 3, 4 years. And I believe a lot of our good friends like Yang Bahagia, Professor Emeritus Dr. Anwar Ali is willing to help us. And of course, Dr. Ibrahim, I also bring Professor Emeritus Dr. Ibrahim to join us very soon in our conference and so on. So with these opening remarks, I hope our friends here, I think I don't forget Dr. Khairul, Deputy Dean, is also our good friends. So we bring actually different scholars. Sometimes we bring from other universities like UMS, UNIMAS, and so on. But the pipeline here, I would like to welcome ideas from our scholars from Malaysia, maybe Indonesia and India, that we set up indigenous center, and we can focus on entrepreneurship. I think Dr. Anissa, I think we work out on that. We bring all the indigenous people around the world, and we want to have entrepreneurship. Teach them how to do business. And I think with that idea, I think we can big family. So although we are small, UMK is number about 19, but we are bigger in terms of the entrepreneurs. So we welcome on behalf to visit our University of Malaysia Kelantan, East Coast. And I always say Kota Baru is a small small European town. Come and enjoy and see the heritage in it. With that, I think I end my session. I pass over to Dr. Frank. Thank you.
Bara sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. First, I thank the organizing committee for giving me an opportunity to introduce the keynote speaker. Honorable keynote speaker is working as a dean at the Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, University Malaysia Kelantan, a university with a vision championing balanced and holistic human development. She finished her PhD from Institute of Technology, Bandung, Indonesia. She has long years of working experience in different environment, industry and universities. She worked as a part-time lecturer at UITM, University Malaya, the One Academy, Malaysia. She also worked as a deputy dean, Academy of Visual Arts and Design, Malaysia. From 2011 to present, she is working at Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, University Malaysia, Kelantan. Her administrative experiences are vast. 2014 to 2015, Head of Creative Technology and Heritage, University Malaysia, Kelantan. 2015 to 2017, Deputy Dean, Academic and International Affairs, University of Malaysia, Kelantan. 2017 to 2019, Deputy Director, Academic and Training, UMK Center for External Education. 2022 current, Dean, Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, UMK. Ma'am has published many papers in international journals and delivered many keynote talks in international conferences. Apart from this, she received many research grants and also received many prestigious awards. Presently, she is guiding 4 PhD research scholars. I thank Dean for accepting our invitation to deliver keynote address. I welcome Honorable Dean, Dr. Hanisha Hassan, Faculty of Creative Technology and Heritage, University of Malaysia, Kelantan, to deliver the keynote address. Over to ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening to the MC and also thank you so much for inviting me as the speaker for this evening. To Ms. Dr. Ganesan, Dr. Frank, Prof. Bala, and my colleagues at UMK, thank you for sparing some time to listen to my speech. In Malaysia now is currently at 8:44 in the evening. So we are quite. I'm quite happy to join because it's being conducted after office hour. Thank you for the very long introduction from the MC. I'm quite happy to be sharing my ideas on soft skills. Normally we are talking about soft skills among our students, but sometimes we forgot that we as lecturers also need those skills, yeah, because sometimes not everybody has the opportunity to practice their soft skills before they join the universities. So now I'm sharing my I can say a case study on myself, yeah. Not to be narcissistic, but it's just like I just love to share what I've been through as academic administrative for I think now it's currently my 6 years for being a dean, and as you all heard that I've also been the deputy heads of many departments. And it's quite a hassle to manage ourselves as lecturers, and at the same time we also have to manage ourselves as lecturers, as teachers, and also as supervisors, and also as grant leaders, and so on. I think everybody has the same problem on managing time, and this is managing time is also part of our soft skills that not only we have to embed among our students, but among ourselves as lecturers as well. So I prepare a very simple slide, which I did this evening because I've been like very busy. So I hope I can share my very simple thoughts on how to manage time and projects accordingly, so that I can share with my fellow colleagues and my fellow friends where maybe in India or Indonesia, or I also have my students here who's listening from Bangladesh. Hello, Asif. Okay. Okay, I share my screen now, yeah. Okay, I hope you can see my screen, right? Okay, the topic of my lecture is quite simple because I don't want to put very serious thoughts at this time of the day. So I'm just putting a very simple idea on how to survive the odds in managing multiple tasks as lecturers. I think most of us here are teachers, lecturers, and for those who are already lecturing, yeah, in universities, maybe they don't have I don't have to explain what the as lecturers has to do, because most of the lecturers already know their task. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay. Our job as lecturers, as we know that we have classroom activities. On top of that, we have also supervision on our undergraduates and postgraduate students. We have also research grants to be done, administrative tasks, community services, and many more. Yeah. Okay. The restriction that we have is, as for me, I think that the rest of my colleagues also having the same restrictions as well. It's time for us to prepare classes, to give lectures, to mark assignments. At the same time, we also need to apply for our grants, conducting current research and meet deadlines, writing and delivering speech at conferences like this, and also administrative position. Even though as dean, assistant to deans, coordinators, and other position at faculty levels, we have to manage all the administrative posts as well. And on top of that, we have to do community service, community service, and also to help the community in helping them to develop their projects, community projects, and as other projects as well. And we have also, on top of that, many small tasks that we need to fulfill. So the question again is, how do we manage it without losing our head? Yeah, this is many of my colleagues ask me the same question. How did I manage to do it? Frankly speaking, when you are appointed as dean or assistant to the dean or any position at the university level, nobody actually quite teach you on how to manage these things. Yeah? So you are actually like being put in the sea and asked to survive the waves. Yeah, so it's quite difficult at first. Yeah. And I can assure that Dr. Jaya, my friend, also has the same problems that we are struggling to juggle the administrative job at the same time doing our current job as lecturers as well, because we still have to conduct classes, we still have to give lectures and so on, and doing research at the same time is quite a hassle, it's quite a handful, but still we have to manage, and nobody teach us how to do that. Yeah, so this is quite a juggle. I can say that when I was appointed as the dean, at first I can't sleep for weeks. Yeah, trying to manage my time and looking into how to coordinate among my staffs and how to delegate my job. It's quite a hassle because nobody teach you how to do that. Yeah. So in my case, my current designation as a dean, I'm working in an entrepreneurial university. And when you have the word entrepreneurial there, then they will always ask you this question: can you produce an entrepreneurial students? Yeah. You have to understand how to do business. Then you also have to juggle on how to make the student do business. Yeah, those are the things that we ourselves are struggling. If I can share a bit that I also have to challenge myself to become an entrepreneur myself. So I open a small shop, a coffee shop, so to test the theory of entrepreneur as an entrepreneurs. Yeah, because I believe that if you want to teach the student to become entrepreneurs, you yourself have to become an entrepreneur. Yeah, you have to walk the talk. So I open up a small coffee shop, and without having a proper knowledge, it's just jumping into the business and try to test the skills and work along the idea of being an entrepreneur. Because to me, from the experience, I can share my experience with my students better, so that I can tell them that in order to do business as a business person, yeah, besides my current job now, I'm adding another portfolio to my current job, which is very handful. Yeah, but I maybe I'm quite a person that actually likes all those jobs. Yeah, I love to do a lot of things at one time. So actually I'm asking myself for trouble, but I love to do those things. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, besides having that, I also have 5 concurrent grants, 2 as main researchers. I also have CSR with various government agencies. I'm currently the board of directors for Kelantan State Museum. I'm also the invited jury for the prison board, yeah, whereby when they release the prisoners from the prison, they need some kind of outsiders to give opinions on what's best for the prisoners to survive. Yeah, I'm giving my opinion as an outsider, so it's quite my portfolio is quite varies. Yeah, because I actually I haven't actually picked the job, but the job picks me. Yeah, so actually I did a lot of CSR with a lot of government agencies. Yeah, which I enjoy doing it as well. On top of that, I also currently supervising class for my undergraduate students for their final projects, supervising postgraduate students, 5 of them from overseas. And we also have individual KPIs, which all the lecturers has to produce 2 publications on Scopus every year. Currently, I will explain a bit on how I managed to do that. On top of that, the university KPI is for me as the dean is to produce more students in entrepreneurships activities and or entrepreneurships projects. Yeah, again the question, how do I manage to do that? Okay, so I'm sharing my ideas on how I actually consolidate the whole thing into one. Because I understand that I think that the rest of my friends also having the same problem, but they also have their own way of doing the things to solve the problem. Yeah. As for my case, I'm sharing this for the sake of the rest to learn from what I've done. If it is applicable to you, then you may also use my technique of combining or combining and so that the job will be easier for you to manage. Okay, since my major is in fashion, yeah, I did my degree, master's and PhD is in fashion. So I ask my students to do projects or business in fashion. Yeah, so what I did was I asked research grants on fashion business. Yeah, so a lot of my grants is on fashion projects. So what I did is I merged the research with final year students project, so that the students will produce products for my research, and at the same time I will fulfill the needs of the grant, whereby most of the grants that I got is about producing entrepreneurs among the students, especially for the final year students. Yeah, so most of the current grants in Malaysia, they are focusing on the B40s group. B40 is those who are underprivileged group, which need constant help from the government. So university is also playing a part in helping the community. So we choose the students which has fallen into this category, and we encourage them to do business. In my case, business in fashion, so that they will know how to start a small business in fashion. Hopefully, once they are graduated, they can ensure that their projects or their small business that they plan in the university will lead to bigger projects once they have graduated. So what we hope from there is that we can increase the number of students, graduate entrepreneurs. Besides having them working, we need them also to become job creators. We need them to become fashion entrepreneurs, fashion traders, fashion business online, and so on. Okay. At the same time, we also can help the community in sustaining batik. Yeah, batik is one of the traditional motif technique that is being used in very popular in Kelantan. I'm sure this technique is also being used in India as well, because traces of batik can be seen all over the world. Some says it's originated from India, some says it's originated from Java, and we do not want to claim it's from anybody, but we love to share the techniques with our students. And Kelantan is very famous for its traditional batik in the East Coast. So what happened is that the batik craft in Kelantan is also declining after a lot of modern textiles emerged, making the batik entrepreneurs smaller. So from this, combining all these ideas into one project so that it can help the students, it can also help my research and increase the number of students entrepreneurs, and at the same time helping the community in sustaining their crafts, especially on batik. So I'm having this project research grant, which is being called Fashionpreneurs, yeah, whereby I gel the word fashion and entrepreneurs become fashionpreneurs. So I asked the students to write a proposal on how to start a batik business. Yeah, maybe a small business first. Yeah, maybe they want to do a kaftan or a scarf on batik or accessories on batik, so that the students had drafted proposals and presented their ideas to their supervisors, and they make designs and they drafted the pattern and toile, made the prototype, sub the mass production to local agencies. Yeah. I will go through the detail of the project with you all and see some visuals, because since I am from the design school, I talk in visuals rather than writings. But this is just my talking point so that I don't forget what I'm trying to say. And then besides that, we also do a marketing on how to help the students to market their products, and also setting an online platform for students to sell their products online. And the university also giving continuous support for a year after they have graduated. So the biggest obstacle when I conducted this project this year is that we are still having lockdown. Yeah, recently the lockdown has been released, so we are quite happy that the students can come to the university and do such projects at the workshop, because as we know, hands-on projects like my faculty, we need the students to be at site. Yeah, the problem is that when we started the project, at first students can come into this university. Suddenly after about a month and a half, then there's a lockdown being implemented in whole Malaysia. Yeah, so I got this crazy idea. I said, okay, I asked my NC, my vice chancellor, I said, how can I just do this project outside? And then he said, if you can't get the students to go to their workshop, bring the workshop to them. Yeah, so that I was thinking, how in the world am I going to bring the workshop to the students? Yeah, so this is the key, when you really need to have a strong backup from the industry to help you. Yeah, since I have a friend who actually have this batik shop and batik factory, so I asked him to help me to prepare a place for the students to do their project during the lockdown. Yeah, so he doesn't have a sewing machine, so I took the sewing machine to the factory. Yeah, so we did everything in a day before the lockdown. It's quite a hassle. Yeah, but it was challenging, and then we did the project discreetly. Yeah, so it's quite a handful, and it's challenging in terms of in terms of how we conduct the project silently without having the police or all the authorities to catch all the students and put them to lockups and so on. Yeah, it's quite challenging. It's quite funny when I think about it. Yeah, because we managed to do the projects at the end. Okay, so when we start the project, when we call it the Fashionpreneurs Project. The objective of the project is to encourage students to become entrepreneurs and sustaining the craft in the community, and also to increase the number of students company during their tenure as students, assisting the less fortunate group, and also encouraging students to do online business in fashion. Okay, so this is what I mentioned just now. These are the process. Yeah, first we work with local companies during the lockdown, so that we can provide, so that they can have a space for them to do their projects, to do their crafts, and so on. And secondly, they have to attach to the company. So we have to provide the space, we have to provide the food, because they can't go out to buy food during the lockdown. So we give the accommodation, and we give them a place for them to cook their food. And we provide rice, oil, and everything for the students, so that they can survive during the 1 month, almost 2 months lockdown. Yeah, and then within that 2 months, we communicate through WhatsApp, Gmail, Gmeet, and so on. Yeah, so it's quite challenging, and I think nobody has been through this situation before. Yeah, it's quite hassle when we really did hybrid as hardcore like this. Yeah, and then we, as I said just now, we moving the sewing machine from the university to the industry, so that the students have the tool to make their clothes. And also we did a Photoshop. Yeah, this Photoshop is also being done discreetly in a shop. We closed all the shops, and we took pictures, and then we set up an online platform to sell their products. And then we also give the students on how to do business online by providing them with online courses. Okay, so these are the first step which is being done at the university. Yeah, this is at my office. I consulted the student on the design, on which design to make, which is commercial, which is not commercial, what are the colors that is suitable, and so on. So after the creative process has been done, so the students are making the toile, or in other ways we say a sample. Yeah, so when they make the toile, then we know whether that particular pattern is suitable or not, if before we make the actual fabric. Because if we cut on actual fabric right away, we afraid that the pattern might not be correct. So then there's a lot, the mistake will cost a lot. Yeah, because some of the fabric is quite expensive. So they did the toile in the campus. This is before the lockdown. So then I haven't get the pictures whereby we actually put the sewing machine in our car and deliver to the company. Yeah, to the site. So this is the projects that the student did during the lockdown at the company. So because this company is quite the workshop is quite secluded in a very remote area. So they managed to do it discreetly without having the police notice them. Yeah, because it's quite challenging when you do things. I was like praying every day so that the students will be okay, mentally healthy, and not being caught by the police. So it's quite challenging at the same time. So they did their batik project at the site because universities are closed to students at that time. This is somewhere in June. Yeah. Okay, these are the projects that have been done. Once they have done the textile, then they make the clothing. Then I managed to go to their site and discreetly visited them and to check their progress. Yeah, this is all done during the lockdown, and everything is very, very difficult to move because you have to get letters of consent from the police, from your superiors to move from one place to another. There's a lot of police roadblocks, so it's very challenging at that time, and it's fun at the same time. So once the product has been done, and then I've checked the products at site, And then we have a photo shoot. Yeah, this photo shoot has been done behind shop lots. Yeah, again, it's discreetly is being photo shooted at behind a shop lot. So it's funny that everything is being done discreetly. Yeah, we are trying to hide away from public. We trying to hide away from the police so that we are not being caught. So we get these projects. All the projects is being photo shooted by our lecturers. So we take pictures on the designs that have been made by the students, and we documented all the designs so that we can put the designs online. So we also give the students marketing courses, online courses on how to do simple bookkeeping, money management, best practices on business, what are the sites for them to do business. Because students nowadays, in the millennial students, they know how to use social media to promote their business. They can make money from Twitter, from TikTok, from Facebook, and a lot of other social medias. So some of them really use their social media wisely, whereby they promote their products. So we have courses that we did with the students so that we can share how to manage simple business, how to do money management, how to use Twitter, how to use PayPal, for example, how to manage the account, how to make bookkeeping. So those are the courses being done online after they have the project has been completed, so that the students know how to manage their project. So this has been done with various lecturers that we ask from help from the lecturers from the business school, because at the design school we know how to do designs, but we are not good at marketing. So we seek help from other faculties to assist the students. At the same time, we also joining the Halal Expo Summit at Washington DC, where this project is being assisted at by our counterpart based in the US. So the students' product are being sent to the US, courier by us, so that it can be displayed at the Halal Expo Summit in Washington. So some of the projects, the prototype of the project is being exhibit there, so that we can see the response of the people in the US, whether they like the project, whether they like the product, or maybe it's too colorful, or maybe it's too ethnic for them, maybe it's too boring for them. So we need those feedbacks. So we don't actually do the mass pro yet, but we are sending them prototypes so that we know the feedbacks. From the feedbacks, then we can ask the students to reproduce according to what the market needs in the US. Okay, and then we also have worked with the correctional department, or the prison, because in the prison here they have a very big workshop whereby the prisoners there are given opportunities to learn how to sew, and they are giving certificates on special skills in sewing and making batik as well. So we work closely with them so that we can give them the prototype so that they can do mass pro. At the same time, we also give them a little bit of money so that they can use them once they have been released from the prison. So each of the fabric that we gave for them to make batik and also to sew, so that we can also help the community in the prison, so that once they have went out from the prison, once they've been released, they can start up a business in fashion as well. At the same time, we also encourage the student to make their own marketplace so that they can sell their products. Okay, these are some of the display that we made for the Halal Expo in Washington. So we put a display on the students' project so that they have the view on how Malaysian batik looks like, because each country have their own identity of batik. So these are the projects being done by the students. So we put on display so that we can have a feedback from the US so that we know where we can improve our products. Maybe the color is too bright, maybe the design is too bold, maybe the design is not suitable for the market. So we need those feedback from the expo, and from there we try to improve our projects. Okay, outcome of this project that we also have 12 students involved in this project, and we have established 5 companies for this project. All the students will be graduating on this upcoming convocation in November, and they will get continuous support from UMK for a year and after the completion of their studies. Okay, this is a platform which is being done by UMK. They have this website it's called Unique 19. You can Google Unique 19. So this is a platform made by our UMK Entrepreneurship Institute, where they have all the students' product being sold online. Okay, this is for the community to view the students' product. Then our product also, we are going to put it here once we have mass pro it. Okay, so you can also view this products online. And as I can see that from this project, I gel everything, my class, my research, my administrative work as a dean, and also my grant. Yeah, I'm putting everything together. So, but the most important thing is that the university has to give fundamental support. Yeah, if the university don't support, then it's quite difficult for us to run the whole thing. And another thing is that industry engagement is very vital, whereby when when situation like COVID-19 happen during that time, we are given an instruction to shut down the university. So we don't have any other option to make the project happen unless we got the support from the industry. Yeah, and the industry also have to have similar ideas on how to make things happen. Yeah, because when this pandemic hit us, a lot of question, and we had a lot of question arised, and we have to do a lot of firefighting. We have to do a lot of firefighting, how to manage projects, how to make sure that our projects still intact, and so on. So there's a lot of industry engagement that is needed to support this project. And research grant is important, whereby it can support it can support in terms of financial aid for the students or for the project to sustain. So we need those financial support, and we also need the community involvement to ensure the project can be run and also to get it sustained. Yeah, especially for in my case that I'm doing into batik project. So there's a lot of things that it has to be collaborated together. It can't be a standalone project. What I can conclude, in my presentation is that sometimes for middle management or for young lecturers, I'm actually not that young, but maybe I look young, but I'm not that young anyway. So administrative job is quite a hassle. Yeah, a lot of our lecturers doesn't like to follow the position. Me myself, at first, I'm quite reluctant to hold the position because I don't have time to do a lot of writings, because administrative job is quite handful for us to those to handle management. It has to be like focus. The focus should be there. Yeah. But one thing good about having to become managers or to lead an organization is because, as I said just now, sometimes when you are being given a task or a mandate to rule or to lead a faculty, they don't give you training. Yeah, they just give you the position and you have to run. Yeah, sometimes the training will come later stage, yeah. But you will develop along the way. You will develop your skills along the way. You know how to deal with people. You know how to deal with difficult people, and you deal with how to manage diversity, because diversity management is vital key for success. In a faculty, you will deal with a lot of people which are difficult, people which are reluctant to follow your instruction. But these people normally they have strength in other areas. So you have to put the right people at the right position and the right task. If you put them at the wrong position and the wrong task, they will never perform. Yeah. So problem solving skills not only for problem management, but you also have to solve problems in managing the differences among your colleagues. And then another thing is that the ability to manage stress. Yeah. I think I manage stress well after quite some time, yeah, after a month or two when I have stabilized, yeah. But I think after a year that I know how to manage stress better, yeah. This is also another thing that is never being taught in when you are being given this such task. But you have this, whether some people they learn through reading, through listening, or through observation. And in my case, I observe a lot from my boss, yeah. and I try to manage my stress by doing something that I like. And you have to enjoy what you do, and once you enjoy, you try to do your best. For example, when I did a project during the COVID, when it's actually the pinnacle of the pandemic, yeah, in early 2020, yeah. At that time, we were at first we were given given an instruction to stay at home when nobody actually prepared for that mentally, physically, and we are not prepared. So at that time, when I'm not used to staying at home, I'm quite a person that loves to be at my office. Yeah. When you are being forced to stay at home, you started to try to think on way how to get out from your home. Yeah. So I started to ask questions to my top management. I said, how can we help the community? Deep down in my heart, I was like looking on ways how to get out, yeah, legally, yeah. So and then they said, okay, why don't you help the Red Crescent at that time, so that maybe you can provide them help in any ways. And it happened to be that they need help in having to produce PPE at that time, yeah, because they have not enough equipment and expertise to produce PPE at that time, and it's quite shocking. And the waves is quite big. They are not prepared. So since I'm from fashion and I know how to sew and make patterns, so I help. Yeah, I just help without having in my head to get establishment or to get grants or whatever. I don't have that in my thoughts. I just want to help the people. I just want to get out from my house because I'm bored. Yeah. So when I did that, it's quite enjoyable. What I did with my friends, we set up a group of lecturers that can help us to sew. And these lecturers also wants to get out from their house. So what we did was we do a workshop and try to make a small project on how to help the hospital, the local hospitals. And this project suddenly become a national project. And it becomes very big project, and a lot of funding came in. And so that's why when we did this, when I did this, I never thought that this thing is going to be big. But I enjoy what I did, yeah, with my friends, and we love what we did and in helping people at that time. Okay, so as the dean, I always put myself at the benchmark, at the highest benchmark, so that the others will follow me. Yeah. If I can't perform, my colleagues can perform as well. So that's why when I give them a KPI or a target for them to achieve, me myself has to be at the top of the notch so that I can lead them and let them see that, oh yeah, their leaders can do so, so they have to perform as well. so so that's why when we are putting myself as an aim, I myself have to fulfill the benchmark first, then I can instruct my team to do as well. And then managing yourself is a key to success. Before we manage people, we have to manage ourselves first. Yeah. One thing that I learned throughout my management tasks along these years is to delegate well, delegate to the right people, delegate well, and to avoid micromanaging. Once you are giving a task to a certain people because you trust them, give the trust to the person and let the person fulfill their job. And you yourself has to follow through the whatever projects or tasks that you give them, and give them encouragement to lead. Yeah, which I think those are the things that our colleagues need. Sometimes when we mingle too much on their work, also they are not happy. They might they think that we are too bossy. Yeah. So those things are, I think, are the small skills that the soft skills that we needed, not only to embed to our students but as our lecturers as well. Because as Prof. Bala mentioned just now, most of us, sometimes we are young people and we need also someone to tell us what to do, how to survive this. Because when you are given a task like this, sometimes we are forced to dive or forced to swim in a sea that we are also uncertain about the condition. Yeah, so that's why I think I would love to share this. Maybe some of the seniors lecturers, this is quite very petty to them, but to me, it's quite vital for the young lecturers to understand that whatever I share tonight is actually about sharing my experience, yeah, through my difficulties in having to lead a faculty at the same time to help the community, to help the students, to sustain your sanity at the same time. Yeah, so it's quite a hassle though, but the most important thing that I think that we have to enjoy whatever we do in life, so that we can deliver the best that we can for our colleagues and also for the community. So I think with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you so much, and I handle it back to the MC. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and giving a highly informative talk on multiple tasks as a lecturers. Okay, this is highly informative because in India we can see that, okay, when the faculty are more concentrating on academic and they are not going out and doing some other business. But this is a highly, you are a role model to us, and you are sharing from your own experience that will motivate even the participants. Okay, a lot of professors, a lot of doctorates here. That will motivate the people, and we can take this experience to share to our students, and they can also lead a high successful life. Okay. I just request the participants, if you have any queries, you can ask to ma'am. She will clarify. You can take for 5 to 10 minutes. You can ask questions to ma'am.
A very good evening, Dr. Haniza.
Hi.
I'm Rajan from Institute of Teacher Education, Keningau, Sabah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm quite impressed with your presentation. It could be something common to our Malaysian participants, but indeed it will be a very informative session for the other counterparts over from India and also China and also Bangladesh. Okay, coming back to our talk today, I have heard about your multitasking capabilities, but I'm more concerned in getting to know how are we going to get our students that is going to venture into open field, job field, is it necessary for them to acquire entrepreneurial skills for them to survive in the open working space? Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Nadarajan. Okay,
Yes, yes.
From Keningau. Wow, that's quite far from here. Okay, thank you for the question. There are two things. Yeah, one is entrepreneurs and one is entrepreneurial attributes. Yeah. But I think now in Malaysia, they focus a lot on entrepreneurs. Students become entrepreneurs because the job market is become smaller each day. From my own opinion, because I'm not from the business school, yeah, but from my opinion, when we have last year's statistics, yeah, we have a lot of our students from our faculty. Even actually, we champion from the university to have the most entrepreneur students produced in UMK. It's quite shocking for me as well because we are from the design school, but we produce more entrepreneurs than the faculty of business. But I think because one of the most important attributes is for them to become innovative. Innovative in a way that they don't actually follow, but they start the trend. For example, there's one project. One of the students, a Malay student, she joined a Mandarin class. Yeah, she never speak Mandarin before. She joined a Mandarin class. After 3 semesters, she can really speak Mandarin. Yeah, maybe she's quite genius, and then she can actually catch up a lot of Mandarin, Mandarin language very, very fast. So what she did was she used her ability to convey or to speak in Mandarin, and he make business in trading. Yeah, buying products in China and sell it online, because he can speak Mandarin and she can understand what is written in Mandarin. So she started to do business even when she was in her final year. I think entrepreneurship attributes or entrepreneurship values that is being embedded can help the students to give some kind of um, an additional advantage for the students. If they can't get jobs from outside, because the market is getting smaller each day. Plus, what post-COVID era is even worse. They have to start doing business. And I think the most important thing is not what you really know how to do calculation, do business and so on. The first thing that I myself experience is whether you are brave enough to jump into business. Yeah. So that's why in UMK we encourage students to do business when they are still studying, so that they have backups from the lecturers and the universities to back them up if anything happened to them, and we can still supervise them. So I tested this theory on myself, where I and a few of my crazy friends, we started to do coffee business. Yeah, a very small shop, and then we just threw our ideas without having a knowledge of proper how to do business. We just jump into the business, and alhamdulillah that the business is quite okay and is still running until now. So so I can conclude that the most important thing is yes, they have the interest to do business, and they also have to have the courage to do the business, because it's quite scary when you don't actually know how the business is going to be like. It's really like you are jumping into the dark, and you try to survive. But once you have the knowledge or the theory to back you up, maybe that will help them not to become too frightened to jump into something that they don't know. Because trust me, what I did when we just jumped into business by just having this crazy idea on opening a coffee shop. But it happens to be, it worked out. But the first thing foremost, you have to have the courage to do so. And those attributes will really help the students to have a backup plan if they can't get a job in the market. I hope that answers your question, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Haniza. Wish you all the best with your coffee shop business. Thank you.
Okay, if you come to Kelantan, then do come over to my shop.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Hanisa.
Yep.
Boleh dengar ke? Sorry, can you hear? No?
Boleh. Can.
Organization here. Okay, thank you very much for accepting our invitation to be one of the speaker for this virtual short course for 1 week. Your topic was good, especially for managing multiple tasks and how without losing our head. And I was very impressed with the batik. As you know, right, we in Malaysia, batik is the most what we say like it's one of the best costume I like, because for India, for participant in India, we in Malaysia, especially for government servant, we have to wear batik on Thursday, right? Every Thursday. Anyway, doctor, as you were mentioning about multitasking and then stress, right? Stress with the job as an admin and also as a lecturer. We are actually lecturers. So I just want to share because, of course, it's not easy, as you are telling, right? We have to manage all kind of things, plus stress management. Sometimes we become burnout, okay? Burnout. And in the same time, I think emotional intelligence is very important also, EQ.
Yep.
How we control our emotion when we are stressed. Okay, when we are stressed, our emotion won't be stable. So that's where we control our emotion. Anyway, doctor, what's your advice for academicians like us? Of course, you have already shown in the slide, the last slide, your best advice or your own opinion. How do we manage this as academicians? As you know, besides our work, we have to publish, we have to do research, we have to write, we have to supervise our student and so on. Any other best advice? Nasihat yang paling baik lah. Sorry for India people, I used to use Malay language also so that India people also learn another language. Like terima kasih, apa kabar and so on. Any other best advice, doctor?
I'm not quite good at giving advice though. But I just my simple advice is just to first of all, you really have to love what you do. I think that's the most important thing. Maybe it's quite a hassle to juggle when you have too many tasks to do at the same time. But one of the main thing is that we have to know when we can actually handle or when we cannot handle one thing, and when we try, we also need to know that our limits. We when we have too many things going on, we must choose what to take and what not to take. Sometimes when we are very young lecturers, maybe sometimes we are burdened with too many jobs. Because I have a friend, sadly he passed away due to stress. Too many jobs that he can say no. Then he's quite afraid to say no because he's still a very young lecturer. So at the end, when he passed away, when they diagnosed him with too much stress. I think a lecturer also has to know their limits. They don't be afraid to say no politely if you can't handle everything at one time, because trust me, it takes some time for us to learn how to juggle things. It's not even easy for me. The first few years I was quite haywire also, trying to get my job done. It's very, very stressful. But once it comes to my second and third year doing administrative job, then I know how to delegate well. I know how to manage my stress, and I know when to say not to have too many things on my plate. Because when you have too many things you cannot control, then you become stressful. Once you are stressful, you'll get sick, and it's not useful at all. So my advice is to all the new lecturers or the young lecturers, we do what we love what we do and we enjoy what we are doing, but we also at the same time know our limits. There are times when we cannot accept too many things when we have too many things on our plate. I think that's the best advice that I can give, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Actually, what you're telling is correct. Enjoy working. You must enjoy going to work. Some people don't like to go to work. When you go to work, they feel stressed. If you feel stressed, when you go to work, anything you do, there will be a problem, right? Okay.
Exactly.
Enjoy working. Thank you very much, Doctor. Kita jumpa di Kelantan nanti.
InsyaAllah. Okay, thank you. Prof Bala, I see you raise your hand.
Prof Bala there.
Okay, sorry. I have very tight schedule. Not entertain my master student. That's how the lecturer job very stressful. Okay, Doctor, I have one question to you. You mentioned about that you running a small business. I think I want to say all this group. She is doing very, very well. She created a branded coffee machine, same like Starbucks, like that. I really admire that your brand getting better and better now. I think we are talking to have one in India. Can, Doctor? Dr. Frank was very happy to have in near the Kerala, border. Okay, never mind. My question is, how do you manage? I mean, as a dean, not that easy, and you have to manage the senior scholars, not that easy, because I know when my friend become dean, very young like you, but he able to manage all the professors and his professor. That's one first question. Second question, how do you have momentum to do the business? How you establish so well established coffee mission, not only in Kelantan but everywhere in Kelantan? So can you share the secret, because everybody is struggling to start up business, but you done that, with your friends, and I think you're growing even to other places. So can you share the secret, how to start up the business and how to make success? Thank you, Doctor.
All right. Dr. Bala, I have a very short-term memory loss. Your first question was regarding what again? Sorry, Dr. Bala.
No. How you manage the senior scholars, like a professor, assistant professor,
Yeah.
And you are the young. From the perspective, human resource, how you manage? Because my friend did the same thing when VC giving a job at the age 32. He managed all of us at the time. So how you do that?
Okay. Managing the senior lecturers is quite handful. Yeah. What I can say that I can see that managing diversity, the diversity of age, diversity of skills, diversity in many other areas. But I can say that in my faculty also we have that that gap, whereby we have a very young lecturers and in the middle they have quite a huge gap. Then they have a very senior lecturers. To merge these two is not quite easy, but as for me, as the dean, I established their expertise. For example, some of the lecturers, the senior lecturers, they are very rich in experience, but they don't have that energy to do a lot of things, but they have these ideas. And the young ones, they have these ideas to do this and that, but they might not have the expertise. So what I did was I merged these two. I get them to lead a project together with the young lecturers, so that both of them can contribute each other. And I also acknowledge that some of the lecturers are very good in some particular field. For example, there's one lecturer he's very good in martial arts. Yeah. So what I did was I asked him to conduct classes and hands-on projects on martial arts training and so on. But he cannot do things online because he's not quite good at gadgets and on all this IT stuff. So I paired him with younger lecturers, and even I gave him a few practical students to assist him with his daily job, like keying, attendance or students attendance project and so on, so that we have this two generation to help each other. But at the same time, we understand that some the senior lecturers are quite sensitive. We try to have different ways to talk to different generation. Yeah, for the seniors, they like themselves to be acknowledged, and so does the young ones. They like to be, they want to be heard. So as the leader, you have to balance up both generations. It's quite challenging though, but sometimes there's when however good that you're being doing or dealing with, there's still people don't like you. But focus on the positive people rather than focusing on the negative ones, because these negative people will drain you out. Yeah, but as long as you focus on the positive people, on the positive vibes, it will go a long way. I hope it will contribute better for the faculty. And for the second question, Prof. Bala, how did I manage my faculty and my business at the same time? Again, I think you have to get very good managers to manage each outlets. I think now we have more than 20 outlets all over Malaysia and expanding. We have to have like for myself, because I'm not from business school, like Prof. Bala, he's very good in business. He's from the business school. So we don't even have theories to back up. So we just try and error. This is a success is not being done overnight. Yeah, it's quite a hassle when we started the business. We started the business when we have this boredom for not having a place to hang out at night. So all of us, or three of us of my friends, we want to have coffee at night, whereby in Kelantan it's very remote and they don't have coffee culture yet at that time. So we started to have started our very small business on coffee, so that we can actually hang out after office hour and make our own coffee and make cheap coffee so that everybody can afford, because good coffee actually, as you know, in Starbucks is very expensive, so we can't have to afford to have coffee every night. So we make a small shop that we can hang out every night and having good coffee, very reasonable price. So when we have created that niche, and as you know, Kelantan is a state whereby they love sweet so much. Yeah, they love the sweet. And when we introduce bitter coffee without sugar, the people are very angry at us at first. So it's quite, for 1 year we've been harassed by a lot of complaints. Yeah, why is the coffee is so bitter? Why is it not sweet enough? So we established the market at first, having a good coffee with not having to become diabetic. Yeah, so we try to avoid sugar. So after a year, then our coffee shop has been quite established in the market, and a lot of people follow our steps. Now if you go to Kelantan, you can see coffee shops everywhere. I think there are more than 70 coffee shops after we have set our foot here in Kelantan. So I think what you have to, as I said, at first you have to have a very different idea on how to penetrate the market, different idea in terms of crazy ideas that maybe people will buy. As I said, we should become the trend setter rather than the followers. So when we have that crazy idea, it might work, it might not work. So that's why we start small. So when we started small, if we lost, it's not going to be that much. So when we started small and then we open up our second outlet and third outlet and so on, it happened that it's quite okay. The people are loving our coffee, and the price is quite reasonable. So what we have, I think that the most important thing is that we have to have the right strategy to understand the very niche market, so that we can penetrate into a larger people and give back to the community, whereby everybody can enjoy coffee, premium coffee with cheap price. Thank you, Prof. Bala. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, Doctor. Hopefully, we can penetrate to India lah. Coffee machine lah, boleh ya?
Can. One day. I love to go to India. I really want to go to India once the border opens, and then I hope I can fly to India one day.
Dr. Frank will arrange everything, Dr. Don't worry. Flight ticket.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Ma'am, as Bala sir told, you can think of establishing your business even in India.
Maybe one day I need to visit India
Yes,
first, because I love about India. I read a lot about India, all the historical, and I'm quite very excited about the textiles in India. There's a thousand of years of textile, very rich culture in India. So I hope that I can visit there one day. Thank you again for inviting me for this talk for this evening. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and giving a wonderful talk.